Minecraft 1.16 is the next major update coming to the game. And as you all probably already know, it's been confirmed to be the Nether update, introducing Piglin, Piglin Beasts, and a whole lot of new mechanics, materials, and more. That being said, I think it's only fitting that Piglin Villages are also added to the game. So, that being said, my name of course is SystemZ, and today I'm bringing you my example of Piglin Villages for Minecraft 1.16. If you enjoyed the video and want to support my channel and help me make videos in the future, consider becoming a member, where you'll be invited to my Minecraft and Discord servers, as well as have a chance to help me with new videos through exclusive community posts. Click the join button below for more information, and also thank you to those of you who have become a member since my last video. How is it going, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. My name of course is SystemZ, and unfortunately today I am rocking the Steve skin, and I've got to say I've never looked better, am I right? No, but I currently do not have internet, so unfortunately I'm going without my skin today, but that's okay. Today I'm going to be bringing you my take on a Piglin village. As you probably know, Minecraft 1.16 is the next major update coming to the game, and it's themed all around the Nether, including red wart forest, blue wart forest, Piglin Beasts, a whole lot of materials, blocks, items, and more, and of course potentially a Piglin village. Now, I've wanted to do this for a while. Unfortunately, I haven't really had a good idea that makes sense for doing so. One of the things I really like to focus on my videos is proper game design, and it took a little bit of time to come up with a good, decent system for this village, but I think I've done it. So let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to do this in the format of a tour, and I'm slowly going to explain the creative decisions and why exactly the Piglin village might enter the game in this way. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. So first things first, we have the entrance, which is pretty broken. Try not to break your foot like I'm probably about to do when you're climbing up these broken stairs. The Piglin, which as you can see here, hey, how's it going, dude? I like your horns there. Kind of cool. You got a nice shiny sword. Speaking of the sword, they're all about gold. Make sure to take note of that because that's kind of a prominent feature of this particular village. They're very, very precious about their precious gold. But of course, like I was saying, what the Piglin, I imagine, would do is scour through the Nether and find materials from the fortress and other things that may come from structures added in 1.16 to actually get building materials for this village, because let's face it, the Nether doesn't really have any cool looking organic features that the overworld has. Unless, of course, these are actually trees. As you know, these were featured in the Minecon premiere for the Nether update, so maybe this will introduce some sort of wood type so that we can craft ladders and all of that good stuff, so that it makes sense. But that being said, like I was saying, they would throw things together from materials they find. Perhaps that also means getting the Piglin Beast, which as you can see here, and getting the Piglin Beast hide to craft a bed, which kind of leads us to our first issue with a Piglin village. One of the main reasons to have a village is to properly house Piglin. But of course, what is housing if they don't really sleep? Or at least, will they sleep? The Nether is not really known for sleeping, because if you place a bed down, you're gonna have a bad time. And they were talking about on Twitter actually fixing that so that maybe sleeping can work in the Nether, and I think this would be a cool way to do it. If you kill a Piglin Beast, perhaps you can actually get a Piglin Beast hide to craft a special bed that only works in the Nether that allows you to sleep and set a spawn point. But of course, it also acts as a Piglin resting point. Now, they probably really wouldn't need to sleep like a normal person, because obviously there aren't really any daylight cycles in the Nether, and unless there's something like a ghast cycle, they're really not going to be sleeping like a normal schedule, so perhaps they're only doing it to rest. And to do so, they need to be high up so that the Piglin Beasts don't retaliate, because obviously, as you know, Piglin do attack them, so they've got to be safe while they're resting. But that's enough about the resting part. Let's go ahead and get into what we got here. As you can see, we've got a really cool looking tarp. In fact, we've got 3 different points. These are where they work. I think it's cool that it's kind of shielded from the, I guess, weather and stuff going on in the Nether and the ghast and all that good stuff. I think it's cool that it shields them from all of that. And they kind of have a place to work in peace, which as you can see here, there's a blast furnace mixed with some lava and other tools to kind of allow them to actually craft craft the tools that they use and trade with. Which, if you did not know, bartering is going to be added in this update. It has actually been confirmed that you'll be able to trade with the piglin in a way of a barter system, meaning essentially you can get an item, throw it at them, and they may, it's definitely not guaranteed, they may trade by throwing an item back. They're going to be very rude about it. They're probably only really going to accept gold as well, so you probably ought to have that handy. So that being said, I think it only makes sense that they have storage and various other blocks that kind of allow them to store those traded materials, because otherwise they're going to have loaded pockets. Because, I mean, you know, look at them. They're carrying a lot of stuff, very clearly. They got to have a place to put it. Next up, as you can see, we've got, I guess, the central form of heat. As if the nether isn't hot already. I just think it makes sense that there's some sort of fire going on. Perhaps this is where they cook the Piglin Beast, which for some reason find this fire very comforting. I don't know what that's all about, but let's go ahead and move on. This is more than anything just filler. Now this is really cool. Also, as a side note, you'll see that we've got the housing all around, and as we get into the main part of the village, there's a ton of housing. But this is super, super cool. Like I said, gold is something they find precious. They very much love their gold, and they're gonna protect it. So that being said, this is the Shrine of Gold. This is where they keep all of their most precious valuables. And it's guarded by Piglin. And if you get too close, they're gonna attack you. So be very careful. And that is actually a guaranteed feature that will be added to the game. During Minecon, they actually said if you do try and enter a chest by right-clicking it that contains gold, they will actually attack you. So be very careful when dealing with their gold. But if you do happen to get it, you're gonna walk away a pretty rich player, if I do say so myself. And of course, next up, let's kind of move on into the second layer. This is where all of the main, I guess, going-ons that happen in a village are going to be. This is kind of considered the actual village, whereas that part is the outer skirts. The higher they are and the safer they are from ghast, that's most likely going to be where they are. You can see that's pretty much where all the housing is. We've got it scattered around all of these trees, I guess? I don't really know exactly what they are, but again, they are going to be in the game. I assume this is a new tree type for crafting all sorts of wood and all of that good stuff. But hey, this is a really cool build hack. I love to showcase build hacks in my videos. Make sure to subscribe so that you never miss them. Well, let's go ahead and check this out. This is probably the coolest way to use honey when building. You can create a really cool looking gold cast where it's kind of coming out of a blast furnace, and of course the honey is like non-settled gold. I think that is super cool. But of course they are using that to actually craft with gold and iron the various tools and fashion that they've got. As you can see, they've got a gold belt, of course the gold sword, and probably different things that they trade with. So I think it's only fitting that they have some sort of workstation that actually allows them to use those materials. Do you like lava? Well, me too. Just be a little careful if you get too close. This is the fountain, which of course is the centerpiece. Now, I think it would be cool if there was a hidden chest in this lava. It's a little dangerous to get to, but if you happen to get it, you're probably going to be pretty rich. But let me know what you think of that. I think that's a cool idea. Maybe there is something there, maybe not. You never know. Let's go ahead and move on to the next feature. I think it's cool to assume that the piglin are actually smarter creatures than the zombie pigmen, which currently inhabit the nether. So when the piglin are introduced, I think it's fitting that if we do have a village, maybe they are a little bit smarter. And the reason I'm saying that is because perhaps they're actually exploring with different aspects of the game. In fact, before we check this out, there's another part that I forgot to mention over here. As you can see, we've kind of got a nether portal that is in the process of being built. Perhaps they've actually gone around and collected obsidian from player portals to build their own. They're trying to learn exactly what this technology has to offer so that perhaps they can conquer the overworld. Now that sounds terrifying, but I think that is a super cool idea. And if you missed it, I actually recently talked about something like that in a video I did called New Bosses That Should Be in Minecraft, where we talked about a piglin chief. Click the iCard in the top right corner if you missed it. You definitely want to check that out. But now that I've said that, you can kind of get the idea that they explore the science of Minecraft, and perhaps that's what they're doing here, trying to unlock their biggest weapon yet, which is of course the Wither. A boss that I don't think any of us really enjoy fighting because it's absolutely terrifying, and I'm personally not good at it. I think it would be cool if you find one wither skull. In this case, there are 3, but of course this is an example. These are a little too rare to really give them all to the player, but perhaps you could find just one very rarely, as well as the soul sand formation, which would teach new players how exactly to craft the wither, or at least summon the wither. I think that would be very cool. You could see the mushrooms here kind of show that perhaps something goes on top of it. You might get curious and use the wither skulls. Let's just say new players might find it and probably, put it together themselves. And if they do, they're in for a rude awakening. But of course, if the piglin discover it, perhaps they can actually work with the wither to attack players. Or, like the rest of us, they'll put it together and probably meet their doom. That's probably a little bit more likely. But anyways, that is essentially it for the Piglin Village. I would love to see this in the Nether 1.16 update. I think it would be very fitting, very awesome, and definitely add a lot to the Nether. But let me know what you think. Is this how it would be implemented? Again, this was a very hard village to build because obviously there aren't really many materials to work with in the Nether. I mean, I even had to come up with some that would be impossible. Wool is not really available, so perhaps this is just burnt Piglin Beast hide? I don't know, let's just pretend in this case. But I think it's still very cool that they collect the various items they do find throughout the Nether to build this village. Wow, I gotta say, that was a good video. I could be biased, because, it's my own video. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. You can also turn on notifications to be alerted whenever I upload a video. But of course, let me know what your favorite feature from this video was and what you would like to see in the next one. My name has been System Z. You guys have been incredibly awesome as always, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching.